Well, Bonnie Glaser is a senior advisor for Asia at the Center for Strategic and International Studies based in Washington and joins us now live. Bonnie Glaser, thanks for joining us on TRT World. So do you think this is just going to be indicative of the way that Donald Trump is going to deal with that particular part of the world?
Well, it seems that the phone calls that Donald Trump has had so far with many leaders are not very well prepared. And he is simply expressing a desire to have good relations with everyone. He called the president of Pakistan, and apparently that unsettled the leader of India. And now we have seen an unprecedented phone call to the president of Taiwan, which is certainly going to create a lot of anxiety in Beijing. We don't know yet, however, what Trump's policies will be after he is inaugurated on January 20th. So it's a bit premature to say whether these phone calls are indicating a dramatic change in policy.
Well, it is typical Trump wanting to be liked by everyone, but do you think that those in Beijing will give him a bit of leeway as, you know, he has no political experience?
Well, actually, I think that the Chinese are going to be quite nervous about the potential for a shift in U.S. policy toward Taiwan. Although China's foreign minister did not publicly suggest that they are very concerned, I would guess that the Chinese will reach out. They will try to find out who is advising President Trump and educate them on the very sensitive nature of the Taiwan issue in U.S.-China relations, which of course goes back to the Nixon opening to China. It has been a central issue in U.S.-China relations for years, one on which Washington and Beijing continue to disagree, but very carefully manage.
Well, as you rightly say, Bonnie, this is a long-standing agreement, and it is a diplomacy of the highest order, really, and that's something that Donald Trump doesn't seem to be very knowledgeable of. Do you think that we're going to see a change in the way that countries in the region start dealing with the United States now that they know that someone like Donald Trump will be in the White House?
Well, I think that countries appreciate consistency in U.S. policy. Some would like to see some change in their direction, but then they would like to have clarity as to what the U.S. policy is and expect the U.S. will then stick to it. And what I worry about is that what we will see is not only unpredictability, but also inconsistency, that Donald Trump may tell leaders what they want to hear. Just about a week ago, Trump did speak with China's President Xi Jinping on the phone and emphasized how he wants to have a very good relationship with China. I doubt that he appreciated the contradiction when he was having a similar phone call with the president of Taiwan, telling her that he would also like to have good relations with Taiwan.
You can't have it all. And finally then, Bonnie, one thing that he has been consistent on is getting rid of TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and upsetting the trade agreements in that particular part of the world. How destabilizing is that going to be for countries around the region, knowing that the US will be pulling out of that particular trade agreement?
Well, I think that the announcement of the withdrawal from TPP has created a lot of anxiety in Asia. Many countries have counted on the United States playing a central role in setting the standards for trade in the region, and will now look for other opportunities, many of which include China, although they are not necessarily Chinese initiatives. But I think once Trump becomes president, he will recognize that he has to find new ways to engage in trade. The United States needs to trade with the rest of the world. He has said that he wants to have bilateral trade agreements with other countries. Perhaps there will also be opportunities for multilateral trade agreements, but I'm sure that Trump will stress that they have to be on terms that are favorable to the United States, because let's remember, that's Trump's top priority, is to bring jobs back to America and to ensure that America benefits from trade with the world so that other countries are not just benefiting from that, from those arrangements.
Absolutely. Bonnie Glaser from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, thanks for joining us.